to know the history of where we come from for you to understand where we are going. The one thing we don't learn from history is that we don't learn from history. Briefly, we have a man who starts a war that has disrupted the global order. But we have history lessons to that. In 1939, there was a man in Germany who disrupted the world order.
The truth of the matter is we want the youth and young people to be active participants in the economy where they can actually sustain themselves and so forth.
Our living township, there are nutritional issues that are at stake. As we know, many of the young people depend on the school nutrition system to get a meal per day, and those are some of the gains of this democracy.
What could be done? What kind of reforms we could do to undo this process here, inequality in South Africa?
Considering that Nelson Mandela signed our constitution in Sharpeville in 1996 to honor the 69 people that were killed fighting for freedom. Now, my question is, how can we use that legacy to look at South Africa today?
When I say human, you say native human.
I understand that, like maybe it means that how Sharpeville was before does not define how it is now.
So my reflections on this, I will say part of my speak was indicating just this, that we need to start to realize that our voices carry power. And it's on platforms like this that we start to re-educate students to use that voice. When we choose to stay silent, when we choose to not vote, we are perpetuating the very thing that the oppressors have done to us. And we are now being called to stand up and do more. So my reflection on all of this is that it's been positive, but this is just the start, and there's so much more work that we have left to do from here.
I realize that there's so many similarities in terms of how we present it, the challenges that we have for the youth in South Africa and in Gauteng as a whole. Paradoxes, I said, you know, one side there's opportunities, there's connections, there is, opportunities, but on the other side, access to opportunities are not there. And I think there was a general sentiment between everybody that was on the panel. But the beautiful thing is that the youth is very hungry. There is so much interest in learning and wanting to be part of the economy. And I think for me, what's important is that the youth should not just focus on being employed, but creating work and employment themselves. But there was actually the general sentiment, and I think this should be something that we need to have more often, but have programs that are actually going to be tangible and have outcomes to what we...
The dialogue today was very, very, very pivotal in the sense that the youth, they've expressed their concerns regarding their status in South Africa. But though we have tried very, very much to explain to them the importance of voting, hoping they've understood and they'll participate, because we have a low voter turnout for youth in this country. So we're encouraging them to say, we are the future leaders, please participate so that you can simply change things in your country.
Keep on engaging going forward. You have a variety of digital platforms, which I am impressed that you have used quite effectively. Continue the communication, continue the engagement, and I invite you all to send your questions, and then we will find a way to answer them as a way of keeping this discussion alive. So it doesn't end here, it continues. A luta continua.